Kwame sat on the old wooden bench outside his family's small home, staring at his worn-out shoes. The laces were torn, the leather cracked, and the soles had holes that let in dust. He sighed deeply, his eyes fixed on the faraway road that led to the city. Cars passed by, shiny ones, with tinted windows and music booming from their speakers. To Kwame, those cars represented the life he desperately wanted. "I can't live like this forever," he muttered under his breath. "I want more. I deserve more." His mother, Mama Efua, came out carrying a bowl of steaming rice she had cooked to sell at the roadside. "Kwame, come and help me carry these to the stall," she said gently. But Kwame only frowned. "Mama, I'm tired of this life," he said, his voice sharp. "Every day is the same thing, struggling, selling food, counting coins. I don't want to end up like you and Papa. I want real success, luxury, and respect." Mama Efua's face fell. She wiped her hands on her cloth and shook her head. "My son, don't despise small beginnings. Wealth without peace is empty. Love will carry you further than riches." But Kwame wasn't listening. That evening, he packed his small bag and told his father, Nana Kojo, that he was leaving for the city. His father's eyes were filled with sadness, but he simply said, "Go, my son. But remember, money can buy comfort, not happiness." Kwame left without looking back. The city welcomed him with blinding lights and endless noise. He quickly found work at a company as an assistant, and soon money began to flow. At first, he saved a little, but when he met a group of flashy friends who dressed in fine clothes and threw parties every weekend, he couldn't resist joining them. He bought new shoes, expensive shirts, and a watch that shone in the sunlight. For the first time, Kwame felt important. He laughed louder, walked taller, and boasted to his friends about how much better his life was now compared to the village struggles. Back home, Mama Efua still waited at the door every evening, hoping her son would come visit. She often whispered prayers for him as she worked, while Nana Kojo shook his head quietly, knowing the boy's heart had been captured by the glitter of the city. One night, Kwame was dressing up for an important business party. His phone buzzed. It was his cousin's trembling voice on the line. "Kwame, Mama Efua has collapsed. She's in the hospital. They don't know if she will make it through the night." Kwame froze, his tie half knotted, his shoes polished for the evening. His heart raced, but then he looked at the invitation card lying on the table. The party where powerful men would be present. Attending could open doors to even greater success. His cousin's voice broke through again. "Kwame, will you come? She keeps calling your name." Kwame stood still, torn between his mother's life and the glittering world he had chosen. Kwame's chest tightened as he stood frozen in his apartment. His cousin's words echoed in his ears, but the sound of laughter from his wealthy friends outside the window distracted him. For a long moment, he told himself, "Mama will be fine. I can't miss this party. This could be my chance to rise." So he hung up. He chose the party. That night, Kwame smiled under the bright lights of the hotel ballroom. Music played, wine flowed, and people clapped each other's backs. But deep inside, his heart was restless. Every toast, every laugh, every handshake reminded him of his mother's weak voice calling his name from a hospital bed. Days turned into weeks. The company he worked for suddenly downsized, and Kwame lost his job. His so-called rich friends who had once praised him slowly disappeared. They stopped answering his calls, stopped inviting him to their gatherings. Soon the money ran out. Kwame found himself alone, hungry, and wearing the same expensive clothes that no longer mattered. He walked through the city streets, ignored by those who once admired him. Finally, with shame heavy on his shoulders, he boarded a bus back to his hometown. When he arrived, the sight of his small family home nearly broke him. His mother sat weakly outside, her face pale but her eyes still gentle. His father, Nana Kojo, was at her side, helping her drink water from a cup. Kwame dropped his bag and fell to his knees. "Mama, Papa, I'm so sorry. I chased after riches and left you both. I thought money was the treasure, but I see now that I was blind. Please forgive me." Mama Efwa, though weak, reached out and touched his cheek. Tears rolled down her face. "My son, we never stopped loving you. We prayed every night for your return." At that moment, Kwame's heart shattered. He realized that even after abandoning them, his family's love still embraced him without question. No amount of gold, cars, or big houses could ever equal that. As silence hung heavy in the air, Nana Kojo placed a hand on Kwame's shoulder. His voice was calm but carried weight. "My son," he said slowly, "your mother has been hiding something important from you before it is too late." Kwame's eyes widened. "What is it, Papa?" His gaze was firm, but his lips did not move again. Only the sound of the evening wind answered. Final moral lesson. Luxury fades, and friends may leave, but the love of family is the true treasure that never dies.